Well, good evening again, everyone. Thank you so much again for jumping on our final applicant support hour. I have been just excited and delighted to share with you each Wednesday night for what the last, I think, 8 weeks. So this is our final one, so kind of a teary moment, but I think you all are you're amazing and you're going to be just fine with getting your application submitted. With that being said, again, my name is Latrina Artist and I am the Scholar Grant Program Director at the foundation. I think I've shared this, but I'll share it on tonight. I have a unique connection to the foundation in being that I was a ranking scholar when I was completing my undergraduate work at the University of Georgia. So when I tell you I get it, I understand, I promise you I do. So where you are, I promise you I was sitting there. Actually, I just saw a what was it, a memory that popped up on my Facebook, and it was 14 years ago yesterday that I applied, that I was actually applying to the University of Georgia. So anywho, enough about me. Let's jump in. I go in the way that I see you on my screen. So I'm going to ask you, hey, do you have a question? Come off mute so you can give me your question. I'm going to answer it and we're going to roll on. So first on my screen is Gina. You got a question for us tonight?
Hello, good evening. Gina here. I do have a question. Great story. What is the maximum amount for the grant and how long does it go for? I wasn't able to get that off the website.
And Jashandra, we need to make sure that's there. We've talked about that before. I'm saying Jashandra, she's one of my colleagues. So
Yes,
don't
ma'am.
think I'm crazy just talking to look, Casper. Casper, I hope
Okay,
Casper is
got
not
it.
here tonight.
Okay.
But the amount is $2,500 annually, up to, let me say that, up to 2,500 annually, and it is renewable. You can renew up to 5 years as long as you remain eligible to receive the scholar grant. When I say up to, if you're full time for the Rankin Foundation is 6 or more credit hours, okay? Part-time is less than 6. So if you're full-time, it's 1250 per semester and for 2 semesters in the academic school year. So say for instance, if you're in for fall, that's 1250 for fall. And then if you're in for spring or winter, whichever your next term is, it would be 1250 for that next term, okay? Or let's say you're not in for spring or winter, but you're coming in for a summer term. We can disperse in summer term as well. So whatever your cycle works, trust you me, as long as you communicate that with us, that's how we'll disperse.
Thank you.
You're welcome, dear. Thank you for being on tonight. Esther, you got a question for us, dear?
Yes. You know what? I checked my school. It's not on the list, but it's other. Is that okay? I checked the U.S. Department of Education. It's there and it has OPEID. It has OPEID. Is that okay?
Put OPEID is actually the website that we use to check the accreditation. Esther, put your school name in the chat and
Okay.
Jashandra will check it for you. Put your
Okay,
name
thank
in
you,
the
thank you.
put the
It's
school
very
name in.
important. Otherwise, all my hard work is wasted because I also have to
Absolutely.
go through very emotional period, because my heart trauma, So okay,
Yeah.
I put in
So
the.
put your name in the chat. Jashandra, once you finish with Esther, can you drop that OPEID? It's actually a website that you can go to check your school accreditation. Okay. That's
Oh,
what
it has
Esther
an ID. Is that okay?
is it a school ID?
Yeah. No, it
No, we
has the
need the school name.
OPEID. It,
We need the school name. What's the school name,
yeah,
Esther?
I'll put okay.
Yeah, because that's what it'll look at. I don't think we can look it up by the ID. Okay. All right. And again, she'll put that in there. If you don't know your school's accreditation, please check that.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
is
Okay,
a
I'll give
requirement.
her to her already.
Okay, thanks, Esther. You have to put your school's accreditation in there, and you definitely want to make sure that it's accredited. I'm going to talk really fast, just a little bit about accreditation. Why do we care? We care because if your school is not accredited and you are attending that school, unfortunately, you could end up in a position where when you're looking for a job or maybe looking to transfer, those credits will not transfer because that school was not accredited.
Yeah. So she has a response now. She said it's a credit Association for Biblical Higher Education Commission accreditation.
Okay, Jashandra, Esther, hold on for a second, and we're good. I'm gonna have to talk since yours falls under other, and some of you may fall under other. That's fine as long as the school still is accredited. There is actually, you have to still make sure. So Esther, I'm not gonna stay on. I got your contact information. Jashandra, make sure you send Esther's school name to me, and Esther, I will reach out to you tomorrow. Okay.
Oh, that's
Just to
great.
talk to
That's
you
great.
about other.
Thank
Okay,
you.
because I think I know we're gonna run the course of tonight. So I want to make sure I get through everybody. Okay, all right. Precious, what's your question for us, dear?
Is University of Phoenix accredited?
It is not. I can tell you that now. It is not, and it's a for-profit. It's a for-profit school. Please hear me. And I'm gonna tell you why I can tell you that. I get students every single year. I take that back. Let me rephrase what I just said. It is accredited, but it's a for-profit university.
What does it mean for a profit?
Mariola, hold on one second for me. Let me make sure. And this is for everybody as I'm talking about for-profit. That's one of the eligibility criteria to receive our grant is that the school is not for profit or nonprofit. It depends on the wording, how it's listed. So if it's for-profit, oftentimes for-profit schools are quite pricey. The tuition is really high. Now, a lot of the schools give a great deal of flexibility to students to attend. They can go online. There are multiple online campuses, but it also comes with a real hefty price tag that by the time you finish your education, most individuals, I'm not going to say all, but most will not come out in a level position, having a livable wage and trying to pay back their student loans. So this is what you always want to think about, that in-ticket number, what that is going to look like for you, Precious, and anybody else. I'm not going to deter you from attending a for-profit university, but I want you to understand what that total price tag would look like for you at the end, especially if you're not getting any type of scholarships or scholar grants, or really more so scholar grants to cover that tuition. Oftentimes they will give you like half in scholar grants and or scholarships, and you have to take the remainder out in loans. But it is for-profit, Precious. So for that, it would make you ineligible to apply because it is a for-profit school, but it is accredited. So let me make sure. Jashandra, I want to make sure I'm confirming that because I don't know that I've checked. Phoenix this year. Is Phoenix accredited? That's the question I want you, and if so, you can drop it in the chat. Thank you, Jashandra. So Precious, please look at the chat for Jashandra here just in a second. And Precious, if you want to stay on with me, we can talk one-on-one because I want to make sure you understand me and hear me here in your heart. Mariola,
Okay,
did that answer that answer your question, Mariola, about for-profit?
I think yes, because I'm enrolled in Hudson County Community College, so I think it's an accredited
Okay.
and
So if it's
not for profit.
accredited and for-profit is two separate things. Okay.
Yeah, I
I
know.
want to make sure I'm clear on that.
So it's just a community college, so
Okay.
I think it's not for profit and it's an accredited one.
Awesome.
Correct.
So I don't know. I'm not checking. Jashandra is in the chat. Mariola, if you'll put that name in there. And I want y'all to be responsible. So Jashandra, I don't want to work Jashandra tonight. She has
Sure.
dropped the OPEID, I think it's DAPIP, something like that in the chat. So make sure you grab that link. And all you have to do is when you click on that link is put your school name in there. And once you put it in there, matter of fact, let's do this really, really fast because I want to show you how easy this is. DAPIPA. Jashandra, never mind, I got it. Okay, let me share screen with you really fast so you can see this. This is the site that you'll go on. Once you pull that up, Jashandra is putting that in the chat. Mariola, what's your school name?
Hudson County Community College.
Like that? HUDSON?
Yes, SON.
Uh-oh, did I spell it wrong? Oh, that's why. You see what happens when Latrina can't. HUDS.
ON.
And is it community?
Yes.
I'm just gonna type in. Why is that not coming up? That's not coming up. I don't think capitalize in it. HUDS. Let's just type in Hudson. Ta-da! Let's see. I see a Hudson
Yes,
school.
it's right there. I can see it's
This one right here.
01 2
That one right there.
9
Is it that
21295.
295400?
Yes.
Where is it at? Where is it located?
Jersey City.
Okay, yeah, so that's it. Once you click on it, you see I just clicked on it, right? And right here, the accreditor is the Middle States Commission on Higher Education, which is an acceptable one, by the way. So yes, it's accredited, but that's all you have to do, okay? So I wanted to make sure that you knew how to go in there. It's pretty straightforward, but you see how I had to play with it. If the full name doesn't come up, just type the first part of it, and you just have to go over and see that it matches with the actual location, because that one evidently has multiple sites, right?
Yeah, it does.
Awesome, awesome. Okay.
So I just have another question in the app.
No, so only
So-
one. I'm gonna let you do one at a time because I want to make sure I get through everybody, but I am going to circle back around. That's why I'm
Sure.
talking like really, really fast.
Yeah,
I
no
promise I'll
problem.
come back to you. Precious, I see your hand, but I'll come back to you, okay? Kampaya. I think if I'm pronouncing that correctly, how are you, dear? You got a question for us?
My network is
Uh-oh.
so
Oh,
bad
you wanted me to
today.
ask now?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Oh, okay. I wanted to know, I'm sending my recommenders the link, right? To go to the website. Do they get reminders?
They
The
do not
website-
get reminders. They don't, but you
Okay.
can remind them. And I suggest, great question, by the way, I suggest that you do. Now, we will send you a reminder. Well, let me back up. If you submit before the deadline, we will send you a reminder saying, hey, you have an outstanding letter of rec. Please, reach out to them, let them know that it's still pending. Whereas if we don't send you a reminder, when you log into your portal, you can scroll down to the bottom and it will say pending. Okay. Oh, and I think it says request sent. But when it said when it's been received, it will say complete, and you get an email notification telling you which one of those have submitted on your behalf. If you have not received that email notification and it still says that recommendation is pending, you want to reach out to them. This is where I normally tell people not to bug people, but you want to bug them, okay? Because if they do not submit for you by the 16th of February, which is the deadline, by the way, your application is flagged as incomplete, okay? So their information is just as important as your information is. Okay, so this is important. So that's why I said a great question. Please, I'm begging everybody on the call tonight, make sure you stay in touch with those that you have put in to submit the letter of recommendation on your behalf, okay? Awesome. The deadline again, Tripora, I'm gonna jack up that name, February the 16th is the deadline, okay? Awesome, awesome. Galaxy S9, there's no name. But that's
9
how-
o'clock Eastern time, right?
We're not gonna give a time. It's just on the 16th because it'll confuse everybody and I'll have to break down the time change. So,
It's me.
okay, awesome, Galaxy. Come on, what's your question for us, dear?
Yes. I kind of had heard or had a feeling that something was up with University of Phoenix, and so I was already looking into other schools, and actually started transferring my stuff to Purdue Global. So are they accredited? And if I do get transferred to them this month, can I still be eligible for the scholarship?
If you get transferred this month, as long as it's before the application deadline, okay? So I can't tell you yes, because you would have to have that acceptance for Purdue. I'm not quite sure about Purdue, but Jashandra, can you drop the accreditation site in again? So Galaxy S9, if you can type Purdue in, and that way you can see. I want to make you be responsible. She just dropped the checking school accreditation in there. If
They
you
said
click
I
on
should
that
start
link,
classes the 28th.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
Purdue said that I should start classes within the 28th.
28th of February?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, but I'm saying, have you been accepted, or is that currently in process? And is that being processed
As
right
far as
now?
I know, I'm accepted. I did my NPN, my loan insurance counseling. I put them on my FAFSA, did my application. I talked to the lady from there for about 2 hours last night.
Okay, so if you've been accepted, then you would need to upload that, if you would, it's probably gonna be more so maybe like an acceptance email, because now they do just about everything via email. So make sure that you have that, because when you get in your application, you would have to list that you are a transfer student. And so being a transfer student, you do have to upload the acceptance letter, for that particular school.
Okay, that's
Okay.
fine.
Okay, awesome. Thanks for that question. All right, Christina, what's your question for us, dear?
I think Precious has had her hand up longer, so I can
Precious,
go
I'm coming
after
back
her.
to Precious because I'm taking one at a time so I can get through everybody.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, I want to
Um,
get through everybody. Yeah,
I never got to ask my first question. I'm not sure who it was, but when you
you
called on me,
weren't you talking about Phoenix?
I attend Spelman. Someone jumped in and began asking their
Oh, I'm
questions.
sorry. Was there another Precious on there? That's bad. I'm sorry,
Yeah,
Precious.
no,
So
it wasn't your fault. They just jumped in and began asking, their question.
oh, because I remember
Yeah.
calling your name.
Yeah,
That's
you
why.
did.
So,
But then before I could even say anything, they just, started going. But
well, Christina, thank you. Where'd Christina go? Wait a minute. Thank you for that, Christina. I appreciate that. Thank you for being noticing that, because I didn't catch it. Because when I lower your hand, it moves you on my screen. So hold on for me, Christina. I'll come right back. Precious. Sorry, I apologize.
thank you, Christina. Thank you as well. And then my question is just when you guys are calculating the income that qualifies us, are you looking at the gross income or the AGI?
We do look at AGI, and even if gross is over, I want to be real with you. I know for one person household, I'm going off memory here, I think it's 23.5. If you're at 27, you're still good. Matter of fact, if you're at 28, we know what taxes are. Okay. So we do factor that in, that, for the state, and we do have a calculator that can calculate just the basic taxes, not even factoring in if you got insurance and all of that. However, if for one person, if you're at 40,000, you're well over, even with taking out taxes, but we do give a little buffer there if that's where you're going with it. But we do look at AGI.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, you're welcome. And those if you don't know, AGI is adjusted gross income, and that's normally found on your taxes. Okay. So we do look at that, but we do certainly factor in taxes for whatever state that you're in. We have a calculator that we can filter that in. Okay, great question, Precious. Again, thank you for your patience there. Yes, ma'am, Christina.
yes, I have an acceptance letter for one university, but I'm awaiting admittance into a program at another. So what if I switched? It is accredited. Are you able to work with that if I switch after the deadline? Because I won't hear back from this program till May.
Absolutely, no problem at all. Yes, that is fine. And again, the main thing is what you just said, is that as long as that school is accredited, and far as eligibility, you still fit all of that criteria. So absolutely, we have that happen a lot, especially when individuals are attending an associate's and complete that. Oftentimes, by the time they start up in the fall, they are at a new, maybe a 4-year college. So that's totally fine.
Okay, one more question.
Only one.
No.
I'll come back to you. I
Okay.
promise. I promise. I promise. All right. Tara.
Yes, thank you.
You're welcome.
My question is that I'm having a hard time sending the recommendation emails for some reason. It's not sending, it's not emailing the people.
Is
Trying
it
to think
this?
how to phrase that.
I got
Yeah, I
you.
have that
To submit
problem
it.
too. Sorry, interrupt. I have that problem too. My recommend didn't receive
Hold on,
email.
Esther, hold on for a second. Me and Esther got a good relationship, so I promise you I'm not cutting her off. Do your recommenders, Tara, end in .edu or .gov?
No.
Okay, and the only reason I say that, normally it's not that it's you. Sometimes their firewalls are so high. Are they saying they're not getting them when you're saying you're having a problem sending them? What is the problem?
It's actually not sending from the application. Like I've tried numerous times and the application isn't following through with submitting, like
Okay,
submitting
I
it or
need you to
emailing
stay
it.
on with me, because that sounds like that may be something with submittable, because I can't troubleshoot that. But please stay on with me in the end. Esther, if you're having that, Tara, what I want you to do right now, if you're log into it, is it giving you like an error message, or does something pop up? Like, oftentimes it'll pop up like a little code. Is it popping
Yeah.
up anything to you when you do that?
No, the last time I was checking, the bottom said like saving, and it was almost like the internet connection had been interrupted or something. But when I went back to it later, I'm like, I can't find any reason that it's not sending unless there's something I was looking if I didn't complete something. I was
Yeah, stay on
understanding.
with me. Stay on with me, because I'm gonna need you to view screen or share
Okay.
screen so that I can see what you see. And we may have to get you over to submittable, because that sounds like that may be something on their end and not on ours. And if so, I'm not able to correct or even try and help you move forward with that. Okay. But I want to make
Okay.
sure that you can. So stay on with me afterwards. All right.
Thanks.
Tashara, you're welcome. There you go.
Sorry, I didn't know how to unmute my computer. I didn't really have like any real question except when is the deadline again? I heard you mention it.
February the 16th. February the 16th. Have you
Oh, okay,
started your
'cause
application?
I did, but I didn't.
Okay, so I don't need
Because
an explanation.
I was
I just
actually
need you to
gonna
get
apply for
started.
this scholarship last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I need you to
Okay,
get
I
started
am. I
this year.
will.
This
Absolutely.
year. Get tonight.
Right.
You
Thank
gonna
you.
promise me?
Okay.
Pinky promise?
Thank you. I promise. Pinky
Okay.
promise I'm gonna do it.
Okay,
Thank
awesome.
you.
You're welcome, dear. All right. Alma, you got a question for us? It's still on mute. So you're not off just yet. I can normally see it when you come off mute. And if you, there you go. There you go.
Okay. I do, the recommendation letters that I sent, one of them did not, he hasn't done it, so there it is. Okay, so how do can I have a new email to send to somebody else so that I could get a new recommendation from somebody else?
Typically, no. Typically,
Uh-huh.
no. So have you reached out to the person that you originally put in there, Alma?
Yes.
Okay, and what did
Yes.
they say, or have they
Oh,
said anything?
he's like a very busy person, and I don't know what it requires of him, but he said that he wasn't going to do a essay for anything like that. So I don't know. The other lady that I did get the recommendation from, she sent me an email and told me I got it done. My side's done. So I didn't really ask her what else is asked of. But do you know what is asked in the
It
recommendation?
does, Jashandra. Can you please it's 4 questions. Jashandra, way to go. Jashandra has already put them in the chat. She just put it's 4 questions that we asked them to write. And they are hopefully things that if you're asking them for a letter of rec, those are questions that you shouldn't, that hopefully they know. This is why I want to just take a minute and pause again here. It's so very important. Whomever you're asking to complete the letter of recommendation, it needs to be someone that can answer these questions that you just put in the chat. Describe the applicant's academic and/or career goals. So they need to know what you're doing in school, right? Describe the progress that the applicant is making toward those goals. Okay. What is the applicant's potential for her chosen field? So whatever field you're currently in, what is that potential? And then why is this student a good candidate for the Jeanette Rankin Scholar Grant? Okay.
Okay.
So those are the only 4 questions that we ask them. And these are questions I would hope if they don't know the how to respond, that they would reach back out to you. But now that you have these, you can maybe select and choose. But Alma, because if that is the only thing, is that the only thing you have missing? You've submitted your application, haven't you? Or have you?
Yes.
Okay.
I've
So
submitted the application.
stay on with me. Stay on with me afterwards. Okay.
Okay.
All right. Let's see. Rihanna, do you have a question for us, dear?
Hi, I'm looking at my application. I haven't submitted it because it required taxes, which I just did. I was waiting for some tax stuff back.
Okay.
And my SARS, which was I was also waiting back because I guess financial aid's been down, or FAFSA, they've been backlogged or whatever. So now I'm like, as everybody was talking, I have the first 3 pages downloaded. I just did my taxes on Monday through TurboTax. I
Nice.
just wanting to know, like, I'm trying to figure out how to block out my social security number. And if I
So
can't do that, is that like
yeah,
absolutely necessary? I'm trying to do an edit on it to make sure and then upload it. You just need the first 3
yeah.
pages, right?
Yeah, first 3 pages, if you can block out, because I mean, some people are very protective and I get it. You should be.
Right.
That's why we ask you to block out. Just leave your last 4 digits for you. If you know it's more than one person in your household, we certainly don't need theirs. And that's really only for verification purposes. I do know, depending on what is it called, whatever program that they're using, sometimes
Yeah,
it'll let you do like a strike through. If you
I know
can't do a
that's
strike through, it varies, Rihanna. So what some individuals, if you have access to a scanner, they'll just print and then just kind of white out the
so
numbers, so
okay. So that's what I was gonna say. If I can't figure out how to do it electronically, I can print it out, I can block it out, and then can I take pictures of
you
the first 3
can.
and upload that as a suitable format?
As long
Yes.
as it's legible, that's the main thing you want to make sure that when you're uploading, especially if you're taking pictures, just make sure you're getting a good angle so that we can see that entire page. Okay. So, and you have enough spaces that you can certainly upload multiple
Are we
pages.
doing this every time you apply for like a renewal of the scholarship every year? Is it this entire process or
No,
so?
ma'am.
Because
If
that
you are a
was a
renewal
little bit of,
scholar, and I don't want to get into it, but it's not the same entire process. It's actually a really condensed version. So yeah,
oh, that,
once you're in, it's the only thing you really have to do is really confirm your eligibility. That's pretty much it. And of course, you stay in contact with us, but it's not the same process. No, ma'am, very condensed. Okay. Awesome.
thank you.
Awesome. You're welcome, dear. Is it Sade? Sadie? You got a question for us?
Hello. I have been having an issue with my account. Like it would let me, I started the application process earlier and it allowed me to see the entire application. But now it says something like there are presently no open calls for applications.
Hmm. I'm not quite sure. So it sounds like to me that you're needing to figure out how to navigate back over to your actual submission. Jashandra, if you'll put in the chat submittable.com. Submittable.com is the platform that we use. Now, this is where it gets challenging for us. If you have not submitted your application, we can't even see it. I can send you this reminder like I did tonight, but if your application is currently open in draft mode, I can't tell you nothing because I can see nothing. However, if we share screens with you, Jashandra, when you put submittable.com, the next info that I want you to put in there, since this is our last call, if you've got questions moving forward, we do want you to be able to reach us, and you can do that at info@rankinfoundation.org. We don't want to just flat out leave you hanging. I just want to be on the Zoom, but you still can reach me as well as some of my other colleagues that can certainly help you answer questions once we get off this call on tonight. So especially if you're having technical challenges or something like Sadie is talking about, I think it was, who else? I need my I need my pen that I think is Rihanna, whoever, I can't remember, whoever I told to stay on. I'm not taking notes tonight because I want to move really swiftly. But if you're having technical issues, if when you're trying to do it, and if any error message or any numbers or anything pops up, that's what we need you to almost take a screenshot of. So that way, when you send that email to info@rankinfoundation.org, you're giving us an example of what it is that you're seeing on your end. And if it's something that I need to troubleshoot with the technical team, we can do that, okay?
Okay.
Awesome. Awesome. You said, hi, I found the answer. I can send the other supporting documents. Sorry, I normally research. Okay, Gina. Look, good. I'm glad when you research and you can find it. Thank you so much for your honesty. I appreciate that. Sadie, Sade, if you're still having problems, info@Rankin Foundation is where. You definitely need to send a follow-up email, preferably with a screenshot, so that we can
Okay.
help you troubleshoot from that place, because then I can say, hey, this is what the applicant is currently seeing. Can you help us figure out what she needs to do to get beyond that point? Okay, make sense?
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Zipporah, you got a question for us?
Thank you. All clear. I'm driving. I'm sorry.
Okay, safe travels now, safe travels. Hold it in the road, hold it in the road.
Yeah.
All right, Carmen, you got a question for us, dear? Carmen, if you're talking to us, you're still on mute, so I can't hear you. Okay, Carmen going once, twice, you're gone. Now I'm just playing. If you can come off mute and you got a question, definitely let us know. Also, I don't know, I'm not following the chat. So if you can't speak at the moment and have a question that you want to put in the chat, please feel free to do so, okay? Awesome, awesome. All right, Rebecca, you're up. Got a question for us?
Yeah, I was wondering, are the credits going to count even though Phoenix is not accredited? Will my
Wait,
transfer
so
credits be okay?
so get Rebecca, your Galaxy, because I see two. I see two screens.
I have a Galaxy S9.
Okay, so not you,
Okay.
Rebecca Seachrist is the name that's showing up on my screen. You got a question for us, dear?
Oh, thank
There
you
you
so
go.
much. I'm sorry. I thought it was only if you had questions. I was really just listening. But now that I do actually have a question.
Okay.
So thank you so much for this and this opportunity. Right now I'm finishing up an associate's degree in film at Pasadena City College. And I plan to, so I'm currently enrolled. I was full-time last semester. I'll be
Okay,
full-time.
Rebecca, I don't want to stop you. What's your question? Get to
The
it.
question, well, the question is, I'm going to finish. I'm sorry. So I'm going to finish, and I was really hoping that, well, like I'm going to start another program. So does it matter that I'll be dual majoring? Hi,
dual majoring in what degree? Hi.
The first one is film, and the next one will be journalism, as long as everything is approved. So I'll be continuing education at the same institution.
Is it an associate's or is it going on over into a bachelor's? Okay, so that since you're dually enrolled, this is where it gets tricky with us, because we normally like to say first. When do you finish your other associates? When do you finish?
I believe this semester I'll finish the film one.
Okay, so since you're currently in, if you're already dually enrolled, you're good. It's just if you're already graduated and then looking to go over into another associate's. And of course, then the question is, how or if do they complement one another? So without getting too much in the weeds, I think you're good as long as you're currently dually enrolled and it's accredited and all of that good stuff. So long as that's fine, I think you're good to go, okay?
Perfect. Thank you so much for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you for being here. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Jennifer Dominguez, you got a question for us?
Sure. Yes, I do. Hi, sorry. My quick question was with on the application there, I see that it has a spot. I just needed some clarification. It says dates attended for school.
Yes.
So I had just thrown in there last semester when I started and this semester, did they want the duration or what exactly did they want there?
Is it the same school?
Yep.
Yeah, so you can put in there, like start date. If it was last semester for your, for fall, you can put, August, September, whenever you started to present. Okay. So you don't have to necessarily put like specific dates for each term. You can just put a range since it's the same school.
Okay, start to present. Okay, that was it. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thank you. Okay, Daniela. Are you getting Daniela's question, Jashandra, or do you need me to take that one? Okay, awesome. I think she's getting Daniela. 763-3328-287. You got a question for us? That's how it's coming up on my screen. It's a phone number. And let's see if you have chatting capabilities or speaking. Oh yeah, no, 7763, you'll have to definitely chat in the box because I don't see where you have audio. So I see that you're listening, but I don't think you can actually speak unless you're somebody else on the screen. Are you somebody else? Are you logged in multiple times? Jashandra, see if you can chat with the 763 to see if they have a question. Okay, all right. I think, did I not get somebody for that first go around? Because if not, we're going back for round number 2. I think I got everybody on first round, right? Nope, Sabrina, there you go. Thank you for coming off mute. Yes, ma'am, Sabrina.
Hi,
What's your question?
thank you.
You're welcome.
I have an issue with the tax part. I am on CalWorks here in California, and I only get CalWorks, and I am doing a work study on campus right now, but I only made like $3,000, so I don't think I even have to file for taxes.
I think if it's
and last year when I filed, I only filed because I reneged on a 401k loan that I had from like 5 years ago, and I just got tired of paying for it and I stopped paying it. So I actually had to pay taxes on the remaining amount that I owed.
Okay.
And
So
so
no income for last year? Other than, what is it, 3,000? I think you still do have to file. I think is it 600? I'm not a tax person, so please don't hold me to this.
yeah, and I don't
what
even know
Trina
because
said.
it's work study.
Gotcha. Yeah, I don't know. That would certainly have to be with the CPA or somebody who does taxes that can do that. CalWorks, I think, is it similar to like I think in Georgia, it's like the Department of Family and Children Services. Is that one in the same? Do you know? Are you familiar with the process in Athens? I think it's one in the same, but
It's a
just a
welfare. It's
different
a
name.
welfare thing where I'm just getting money from the state while I'm going to school.
Absolutely.
Because I
So
got
if that be
unemployed.
the case, awesome. If that be the case, Cal State, you can say did not file taxes, and then they're going to ask you what your income is. It asks if you did not file taxes, or if income wise it's under something else like TANF, if you get snaps, if you're on not Section 8, because Section 8 is totally different, but unemployment. I'm going to use other things that necessarily wouldn't be, and you have, depending on unemployment, you still have to file for those, but things that you may not necessarily file taxes for. So you would say no, but you still would have to upload like your Cal State's benefits letter, Sabrina. Okay, so make sure you have that. It's just a means of being able to verify whatever you say your income was. If it was 3,000, then Cal State should reflect that 3,000. Okay, so please hear me when I say, and this is for everybody, whatever you say your income is, you need to make sure that those supporting documents confirm and verify that. Okay, if you say that your income was $100, but then the income documents that you upload says $10,000, that throws a red flag, and that's definitely a discrepancy. Okay, so you want to make sure that whatever you say it is, that it matches with whatever supporting documents that you upload. Make sense?
So I don't have to worry about having actual tax documentation then.
No, you don't, unless I mean, if you filed, yes. But if the way to verify, since you said it was for your 401k, and being that a loan, that gets a little complicated and could potentially make you not eligible. I'm going to be honest with you, depending on what that amount is. But if it doesn't list wages on there, I still think you would be fine. But if you're listing wages, Sabrina, on your income, excuse me, on your income taxes for last year, then you still need to parallel whatever that income says. So I hear you when you say it was something else. I was thinking about 401k IRA distribution. There are so many things that can be on there that would not necessarily be considered as wages. You didn't per se work for those. So that's why I'm telling you, I wouldn't necessarily just say don't upload. If you have wages listed on there, that's what we're looking at. And we do look at the other line items to make to almost not necessarily compare, but to try and understand. There's also a section just below where it talks about expenses, because if your expenses are more than what your income is, there's a space that says explain how are you making up the difference, what that is. You could totally put in there,
So
Sabrina, hey, this
is that
was
where, and is it okay that I put, I mean, it's literally like grants, scholarships, the workers,
absolutely.
the work study. I mean,
Absolutely.
that's how I'm getting my money. That's how I'm
You
funding
could put
everything.
all of that, but if you're uploading the taxes, you want to make sure you mention the 401k, okay? Because if that's listed on there, that's going to show up in your
Yeah,
on your
that's not even part of it because that was from like 2 years ago already.
No, we don't
The-
want
the-
you to do 2 years. We just want you to
Right.
kind of do like well, you can't technically do last year if you haven't filed, but the 22. The 22 would be the taxes that you would have filed for 23. Because like right now, excuse me, 22, I'm sorry. Look, I'm getting my years confused. So last year, if you filed for last year, that's fine. That's what you want to upload for the 22. Like right now, if you haven't filed, that would be for 23, right? And that's fine
So
if you
here,
haven't
this
filed.
is
Not
my
every
other sticky situation
Sabrina,
because we have,
one question, Sabrina, one question. I
Yep.
can come back to you. We still got a good 15 minutes, and I promise you, I believe I can get through
okay.
around to
It's just
everybody
it's
else.
part of the same question.
Okay, but I
Because the
think yours
taxes,
is unique. You may need to, Deshandra, drop in the info again.
Okay.
Sabrina, you may need to talk with me specifically because I don't want you to have to put all of your business out here. And yours, I think, is a unique case. So definitely, Deshandra, put the info in there and we can definitely chat. Sabrina, just make sure when you email, just say, hey, I spoke with Latrina on the Zoom. Can you please have her call me? And they'll forward that email over to me, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome, dear. All right, Precious, I'm back around to you.
What did I do? Okay. So my question is for those of us who are married, do you factor in our spouse's income as well?
Yeah, because that would be depending on how many is in your household. If you list your husband, and it asks in there, counting your household. Okay, so if it's two, I mean, if you got a child, then it would be three. And of course, that income changes, the eligibility number changes based off how many is in your household. So when you do that, please, please, please hear me. If you're listing that your husband is a part of your household and you list income under him, please provide his income verification. Okay, whether that's taxes. I know sometimes you file separate. Okay, but that means you're uploading technically two. Okay, that would be yours, and then that would be his, and it's a way for you to verify that income. Okay, make sense?
Yeah. So if he doesn't want to supply me with his income, like his pay stubs, but he's still on the tax, we filed together, is there like an effect?
I'm not. If you file together, so you're not getting a copy of it. I don't follow
No,
what
no,
you're
I would
asking.
get a copy of the tax return, but I'm not sure if he would be comfortable with me uploading his pay stubs.
Oh, no, you don't have to upload the pay stubs. The taxes will give us the income for you, and you can blot out. I can't remember who I was speaking with, but this is where you want to definitely make sure you don't disclose his social. So things like that, you can even blot out his name, to be honest with you. But it's the way of verification. So if you're listing that you have two in your household, I'm just going to say you and your husband, his name is a way to verify that he is truly in your household. Far as income, it doesn't necessarily separate it out. it has on there, if you're filing jointly, it'll say income and wages and it's combined, right? So it's not necessarily separating you two out. But what I am more concerned about is his social. Of course, him not, you not wanting to disclose that information because we don't need that. We don't need your full social. That's why I'm saying, so when you're uploading those documents, just make sure somehow you can strike through. If you can't strike through on a particular program that maybe the tax personnel use, that's where you may want to print it out. And then you can either take photos of it on your phone and then upload it that way from your phone. Or if you have access to a scanner, once you kind of blotted out all of your personal information, you can scan that document back in. But please let me say this, we are a very secure site. We do not provide and disclose any of your information to anybody else. We do no selling, and every single year, every application is definitely kind of actually purged out of our database. So therefore, that information is just not hanging out somewhere in cyberspace, okay? That's why, and even if we could pull an application, that's why we can't utilize the information. Esther knows from previous years. We have to, get the current information for you, okay?
Okay, thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Kampalia, back to you.
Yes, thank you. I'm
You're welcome.
having difficulty downloading two forms, my FAFSA and my admissions letter. Would you take a screenshot? Would that be acceptable?
Not for FAFSA. The reason why for FAFSA, the FAFSA is normally about 10 to 14 pages long. So you actually have to download that as a PDF. It actually says print. FAFSA, the FAFSA can get a little complicated because when you go in to view it, you have to actually say, it's almost like you're going to print. You have to click on, once you click on view, you have to click on print, and then you're not going to actually print it, but you save it as a PDF. That way you'll have that entire file. Kampalia, send us a email over to the info@rankinfoundation.org. There is, I know last year we found like a little quick video tutorial that actually walk you through how to get logged in and how to save that and get it uploaded. The acceptance letter is definitely okay as a screenshot because that's just one page. But if anything that's multiple pages, you just want to make sure you save it as a PDF. So that way you can capture all of the pages, and especially for that student aid report, because again, like I said, it's about 10 to 14 pages long. But if you're still needing or wanting that video, just say, hey, Latrina mentioned the SAR video. Can you please send that to me? Okay. So be really specific when you send it over. All right. Christina.
Yes. What if our tax information from 2022 no longer reflects where we are now? I don't have a job anymore, and I'm on just living off of financial aid.
Okay.
Currently.
Was your 22 outside of the income range?
Yes.
Okay. And
2022.
so were you laid off? Were you what else would get you that statement from the Department of Labor? Were you laid off? Did the job end? Did they close? And the reason I'm going here is because that way you would have some type of documentation. So what's the reason that the income changed?
I entered an internship and I was stretched too thin.
Gotcha.
So
okay. So do you have any documentation that says this? This is where I'm going with this. And I want everybody on the line to make sure you hear me. When it changes, and we understand that this is a very real situation, Christina, for you and other individuals. However, what you need to be able to do is verify the transition. If you would. The only reason I was asking you about, like, if the company closed, things of that nature, there was a separation notice, there's a concrete piece of documentation that you have that you can actually provide. So like with the internship, Christina, if you have some type of documentation that says, hey, she's now into this internship that reflects, I don't know what the number of hours are. Do you have any documentation there? And that's to only confirm what it is that you're saying, because these are things that you can put in your application. Hey, this was my income, but this is what it is now. And so even now, I'm going to use loans because you said you're like using loan scholarships and things of that nature. How or what do you have that supports? That's your income. That's kind of the next thing. So just always thinking about how can I provide my proof of documentation for that. Okay, so you have to upload something to be able to verify what that income is, because if not, it's going to be a discrepancy, as I was sharing earlier. And that's what we don't want to have happen, because it truly does raise a flag. And then if there's no explanation and no documentation to support whatever your statement is. Make sense?
Okay. Yes, I can find something like from an instructor or at the site. So
Okay. Awesome. Awesome. So just make sure you're backing whatever it is that you're saying. Okay. All right. Rihanna, what's your question for us, dear?
Sorry, I'm trying to cook dinner and do all this. That made me think I just did my 2023 taxes and my SARS report through FAFSA. Am I supposed to be doing 2022?
Well, 22 was your old one. That was last year. 23 is your current one. So no, if you've done your taxes, you're good. The thing
I
of it
can
is
do
some individuals have not filed. And so that's where they're uploading their 22. Okay. But oftentimes if their income does not reflect what it was in 22, that's why some are waiting or have waited to file their 23. So, and then with your student aid report / submission summary, because y'all know that name changed this year, that's fine. However, Brianna, you want to make sure, and everybody on the call, is your process one, not the one that says it's submitted. Because since the deadline changed, unfortunately, for you to get in there. So Rihanna, is it the actual process one that has been completed and it has sent your information back? Or was it just that one pager that says it's been submitted?
That's a good question. I'll have to go back. But obviously I can upload last year's if that's acceptable. I think that's why I hadn't turned in my application, because I was waiting basically. But
you can certainly, and we are allowing the one especially for that SAR, because we understand that the time frame changed and it was a little more challenges that came along with the FAFSA.gov site as well. So absolutely.
So either one's acceptable.
Either one is acceptable.
Okay, well, that's helpful. Okay, good. And I have a quick question. Is it just based on
Let me see who else is up. You can stay on. I promise you, I'm trying to get back around.
No worries.
To everybody. You're good. And info@rankinfoundation.org is your friend from this point moving forward. If you want to ask us more questions. Gina, do you have another question for us? And if no, that's fine.
Yeah. Oh no, that just threw me off. So the SARS 20. So the financial aid report from last year, not 2023, 2022 is what you're asking for.
No. Some have, hear me. This is why I said I didn't want it. I don't like to answer that question, especially at the end when I'm rushing.
Okay, well, no. I'm fine with it.
Listen to me.
Okay.
Some people have actually been able to get their 24-25 SAR submitted and back, the new one. Trust you me, we have some but some individuals have not. So since they have not, that 22-23 is certainly okay if you've already done it. Okay. We don't want you to not be able to submit your application because you have not received your completed SAR back, because you can submit it, but it takes about 7 to 10 business days it was taking about 7 to 10 business days for the FAFSA site to process it, but it's been slowed down. Okay. So just know it could be taking a little longer, and we don't want you to miss out on the opportunity to be able to submit your application. Okay. So if you have that previous year, please just upload that and go from there. Okay. Everybody good on the SAR? I want to make sure I didn't confuse anybody. You're welcome. Awesome. Okay, Tashara.
So I heard you say that we can use our 2022, 2023 student aid report, right?
Yes, ma'am.
And also for the taxes, we can use 2022 taxes if it reflects 2023 a bit, right?
Yeah, if you have
But
not filed. I would if you filed
I have
taxes
not.
or submitted and have the completed one. So it's kind of a if. If you've
Yeah.
done them and you have them, please just upload your most current one. If you have not, I don't want you to miss out on the opportunity as long as it reflects what your income is. Okay. That's where I think it gets tricky for every individual, because as I was just sharing with Christina, and she said hers does not. Okay. So you just want to make sure whatever you're uploading reflects what it is that you're saying in your application. Okay.
Oh, okay. Because it's that like some people have not even received their W-2s,
Yeah.
and the government is allowing our employers up until February 15th to get these W-2s to
Yeah.
us.
And if you haven't,
So,
that's fine. I mean, you can't give us
okay.
what you don't have. I mean, we're not going to penalize you. I think the main thing, the more important thing to think about is, does it reflect what you have listed as your income if you're uploading your 22? Okay.
Okay.
That's the most,
All
I
right.
think,
Thank you.
important thing. You're welcome. Rebecca, you got a question for us? I'm moving. I'm trying to get back through everybody. I think I can do it in 2 minutes. And if not, that's okay. I don't see any hands. Does anybody else have a hot pressing question that you need to ask me?
I do.
Okay, go for it.
So, I am, I'm currently separated.
Mhm.
But my last year's SAR does say married.
Mhm.
But even with that, it does show that we were low income. Is
Mhm.
that okay?
I mean, if you're in the income guidelines, you're fine. Yeah,
Okay,
so
because
don't
like
complicate it. Don't
so it's like
complicate it.
it's just me and my daughter.
Yes,
Me and
ma'am.
him are separated. We're no longer together. Like he lives in a completely different state. So I
Okay.
didn't know if that would kind of confuse things. And the other thing is I'm currently 34, but my birthday is April 12th. So I will be 35 in June. But
As
when
long as
filling
you're
out the application, like it has that question. So will you all also take into account the birthday?
Yeah, it asks you, will you be 35 on or before, I think it says June 1st, or is it
Yes.
31st? Yeah. And you need to answer yes.
Yes. Okay. I just wanted to make sure.
Yes, absolutely. Great question, by the way. Yes. So you do have to be honest, you do have to be in that eligibility with all of the questions. Yes, ma'am, Esther.
Yes. You said you're gonna call me tomorrow. Why not now? Do you have time after?
Y'all, it is 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard here in Georgia. Y'all done worked me to the bone today. My husband gonna be like, "What's wrong with you?" I'm be like, "Honey, I'm so tired."
Yeah,
Tired.
regarding
Because
the
Esther done
credit,
worked me overtime.
I'm
I'm
sorry.
just kidding.
I'm sorry.
I be silly with Esther. I know Esther. Me and her have a relationship.
Yeah,
Esther can take
yeah,
it.
I admire you. Yeah,
Oh,
always.
thank you so much, Esther. I appreciate it. All right, one more question. Come on, who got the final closing question for me tonight?
Me.
Come on, Rihanna.
Okay, so after getting all the logistics done with the FAFSA and the SARS and all that, does everybody get awarded, or then is it based on like the answers to the questions and stuff? So how does that work?
Rihanna, look at my face. Y'all working me tonight. No, I would love to say that everybody gets awarded. Again, I am always real about this. No, ma'am. I'm going to be totally honest with you. And I like to, as they say, I like to spill all the tea. Please, if you've been on this call with me, I hope if nothing else, I want that you understand that you please be clear. Please be complete in your responses. Please be sure about your answers. Please, I beg of you to have somebody read over your application. Do not just hit that submit button if you've taken all of this time to put into this application. You've requested not one, but 2 letters of rec. You want to make sure that you dot your I's, you cross your T's, and X out your Z's. I don't know where that came from, but I just made it up. But I just want to make sure, you need to make sure that you do not leave those individuals that will read your and review your applications hanging. And let's just, I'm going to use this question because it comes up, seems like every year. It asks, what is, one of your greatest accomplishments, what you're most proud of. And it never fails. Every year we have an applicant that just says being a mother. And that's commendable. I'm a mother, so I get it. But what about being a mother makes you most proud? Why is that your greatest accomplishment? Okay. So don't leave the volunteer readers wondering, like, why did she just say parenting? What if somebody that's reading your application is not a parent? They have no context. They understand nothing about you making that statement. So I like to say, think about your application as your Picasso, okay? What will your application say to those that will read it? You want to make sure that it paints that picture of you that is clear. Again, it leaves them like, wow, this is a great portrait. I'm telling you, they'll be, after they read your applications, like, ooh, honey, give her a scholar grant, because you've been clear, you've been sure, you've been direct, you've given them all of the information that they need to fully be able to score in your application and hopefully get you to. So the question is, I want to make sure I answer, no, everybody is not awarded. The awards are based off the number of renewals. Since you heard me say we have renewal scholar grants. So say for instance, we will do 225 this year, okay? If 100 of them renew, that means we got 125 scholar grants that we can award. Let's be real about it. I will probably get about 300 good applications, okay? I'll get more than that, but not everybody has a good, complete application. So that means you have about a 30% chance, okay? I like to be a realist, but this is where I say you want to make sure that your application is good. It's clear, it's sure. And if you can paint the story or paint a picture about where it is that you've been and ultimately where it is that you're going and how you plan to get there, you certainly have a great shot at being able to receive the scholar grant, and making sure when you answer those 4 questions in that personal statement that you, honey, spill the tea. Don't, if you make a statement, about you having financial struggles or whatever, how have you been able to overcome? One of the questions asked about challenges that you face. How have you used that to kind of transfer over into maybe a positive, or how has that benefited you? Tell them. Okay, don't be shy. I know it's hard when you're talking about yourself, and some things are sensitive, right? And some things you may not want to share. Now, if it's private and you don't want to disclose it, please don't. However, if that's a part of your story and can truly let the volunteer reader understand who you are, please don't leave it out. Okay. Make sure
Thank you.
You're welcome. Okay. Somebody else raise their hand and I promise we're out of here. Y'all still hanging out with me. Y'all got a bonus 5 minutes. Was it you, Alma? I see you at your phone. Nope, it was Kampalia. That's who it was, but you lowered your hand. So Alma,
you answered it. Thank you.
Yay. Awesome. You trying, Alma? Are you trying to come on in?
Sorry. Did you still want me to stay after with you?
Yeah, please stay on if we can share over. And who else? I saw it wasn't Esther. Esther, info at rankinfoundation.org for those of you else who are on here. Again, thank you all so much for hanging out with us this evening. If I really want to stress, if you're having some type of technical challenge, screenshot it and send it to the info at rankinfoundation.org, okay? That email, please write it down, info at Rankin Foundation. While we won't have another Zoom, you still can get us. You still can reach out to us up until pretty much, the day before the application closes, because we'll be swamped with a whole lot of questions. All right. So Alma, I see everybody is still hanging out. Remind me, I'm not taking notes. That's bad, Latrina. Thank you, Kampalia. And everybody else, like I said, I'm pretty much answering questions. I think Alma's was a little bit more unique and specific to her. So I wanted to make sure that I gave her the attention specifically, so I didn't take up the time with everybody else.
Yes,
Okay.
so my question was, and I asked him just right now, and he texted me back, but he said he hasn't received it, but I know that I sent it when I finished the application. I have two more other questions, actually.
Okay,
After that,
so,
but,
ooh, Alma, you
so,
going into info box. Can you resend? I want to be what you're, can you hit resend? Are you logged into your application now? Because I think you can resend.
oh, sorry, I keep getting the mouse to the other computer. I'm at work, so.
I see
Feel
Gina
hectic
shaking her head. Yes, doesn't it give you the option to click on resend?
Yeah, I just hit resend because when you said the EDU at the end, I was thinking, well, maybe he meant, because I asked him, did he receive it? But I thought he might be thinking about the information packet I sent. So I just, let me hit resend without being,
Yeah.
But
And
one of my
again,
applicants, they did come in. So it says response received. So I'm just waiting on the second.
yes. And so again, Alma, so go in there. Gina confirmed. I know that you
Okay.
can. And this is for everybody else else is on. Please do that and please follow up. It's just courtesy that you follow up with them and ask. Say, hey, I just wanted you to know I sent it or I was able to resend my request. Can you confirm that you've received that?
Okay, so
Ask, will you be able to complete this by February the 16th or before? Say before, don't say by, say before.
okay. Okay. So so when I go into my submissions, it says status in progress. Does that mean it wasn't submitted correctly or?
Hold on, Alma. Jashandra, you're good, dear. I don't think, but drop that info at Rankin Foundation again. I don't know if you haven't, but thank you so much, Jashandra, for hanging out and womaning the chat section for us tonight. Y'all give Jashandra a hand and a clap and some thumbs up and some love because she's been working over there tonight. I saw it. It was scrolling so fast I couldn't even follow it. So thank you.
Awesome. Okay,
Have
also,
a good evening.
Okay, Alma, I'm looking for something now. Hold on one second. Because if it's saying in progress, that sounds like you might have submitted already. Did you submit?
yes, I did. I submitted. And
Yeah.
so, also my other question was, where it says organization, Janet Ranking Foundation. Okay, and then it's opportunity. I filled out the one from 2023 because that's the one that I had seen.
Yes.
And then it turned
That's
into
the one that's
2024, but that's okay.
Yeah,
Oh, okay, okay.
2023/24 is the current one because it opened in 23 and it's running
Okay.
through now and we close on February the 16th. So that's the correct one. But yes, definitely click on resend.
Okay,
Do you
so
have that
so when
option?
I click on Alma Flores, or do I click on in progress to resend?
What do you see when you're in there? Because I see a
When I'm
different.
in here, oh, see, it says supporting information received from Ashley Owsley. That's the one girl that I did get to. So
Yeah.
she did, and she
And
told me that
Nathan.
she did.
Yeah, and Nathan is the
And
one that you're
Nathan, yeah,
waiting
was
on.
yes, but he said he didn't receive it.
So go in there and click on resend. You got to go all the way to the bottom. You got to see you go to where your application is. And I'm almost thinking since you've submitted, I'm hoping that you can see that. So you got to scroll all the way to the bottom, Alma, of your application.
Okay, so I go into the application? Okay. See this.
Do you see something that says submissions or maybe forms? I can't remember. It's one of the two.
I see it. Okay, let me look at this real quick. Okay, resend request to Nathan Padilla.
Yes, click on it and it's gonna go like right now. I mean, like, I
Okay.
don't want you to call them right now, but definitely I will follow up tomorrow. And this is where I say, nice professionally bug them because again, I want you to remember that if they don't submit, your application get flagged it as incomplete, and we don't want that to happen. Okay.
He better. He's the one that came up with this idea for me to be a drug counselor. He's my drug counselor.
Yeah, they better.
So yeah,
Okay.
he's waiting for it. He had told me, and I was like, okay, well maybe you didn't check your email, And he's like, I checked it. I was like, okay, I gotta go.
Okay.
I'm at work.
Awesome.
I'm so sorry.
I
Thank
know.
you so much.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Happy applying.
Have a good
Okay,
night.
Tara, you came on. I think you came on late, and I don't think I answered your question since y'all holding me hostage for 15 minutes. I'm being silly. Tara, I did. I think I remember your face. All right. Did you have
Thank
another
you.
question for me? Because I don't think I came back around to you.
No, it's okay. I was just still holding out for because my requests weren't going through for my recommendations.
What
Those
was it
emails weren't
giving
getting
you?
sent. So what I'm trying right now is I just logged on again
Yes.
and I see it didn't save my recommender information. So I'm re-entering that
Okay.
and I'm gonna see if it will go through this time.
Okay. Do that right now. And I want to know if you get, because once you enter it, you should be able to just click on like send now. It'll say now, it says send now, literally. So you should be able to
Yeah.
click on it. So enter it now, Tara, and let me know.
Okay.
Okay, Esther, what was your question for me again?
Yeah, remember the credit, I don't know if our school is credit because it's in the others, I believe. Yeah.
Okay, let me check. Give me your
Yeah.
school name again, Esther.
Grace, it's in the chat. Grace Mitchell University for Esther Dean.
Oh, Esther, you ain't gonna make me go all the way back to that. I
I'm
told you,
sorry.
Jashandra had the chat on fire.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Grace Mission University.
Okay, hold on, Esther.
Grace, Grace. You're very graceful. Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I like your character.
Association of Biblical Higher Education. Okay, hold on one second.
Mm.
Jashandra, she's good. It would be yes. I don't know. I don't know who she's assigned to. Esther, I can't put a note in there. She would be good, but it would fall under other. So like on our end, Esther, what we do, you would say other, and let me tell you what it says. Did you go to that oped.gov site? It says
Yeah, I did.
biblical. Yeah, it's the Association of Biblical Higher Education and Commissions on Accreditation. So you're good.
Okay, so I'm good. Okay, thank you. So I can go now. Yeah, thank
Yep.
you.
Awesome.
Although
You're
I
welcome.
don't want to leave you. You're very nice, but I want to be friends with you. You have very good character.
We're friends. We're
Yeah.
friends, Esther.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay,
You're
look
welcome,
forward,
dear. Happy applying.
Yeah, thank you. I hope I can get it. Thank you. Yeah.
Likewise.
Okay.
Okay, Tara, did it let you submit?
And I'm hitting one right now.
Fingers crossed.
Yeah, it went through. Yep. I mean, at least I have options this time to like resend or cancel. So
rolling.
yeah.
I
Thank
love
you
it.
so much.
I love it. I love it. Nice.
Yes.
Yep. Same thing. So do the same thing. And again, follow up.
Yeah.
And as you see now, you can click on that resend. If they say they didn't get it, click on that resend. Okay.
Yeah.
And follow up.
Okay. Very
Okay.
good. And then
Awesome,
I can
awesome.
still do my FAFSA even if I didn't get all my taxes back yet.
You can, but I think you can tell it to talk with the IRS, because if you remember with the FAFSA, it's not going to be for this year. It's actually going to be for the previous year, to be honest with you.
Right.
So you can tell it to talk with
Okay.
one another. But the issue with the current year is that it takes 7 to 10, well, traditionally it was taking 7 to 10 business days. So you would really be pushing
Yeah, I
the
hear that.
deadline for it to get fully completed and for them to get that completed summary back to you. However, if you have last year, just upload last year. Okay.
Like 2022.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, I could do that.
Yeah.
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 All right. Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're welcome. Okay. Mariola, Precious, why y'all still hanging out with us? Sade, what What y'all just like, y'all like Esther, just like hanging out with us for the night?
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
wanted to
Yeah.
hear things that might give me more insight, but I did have one
Gotcha.
question.
Okay, come on, you got it, and I'm out of here.
Is there such thing as saying too much?
Absolutely not. Now,
Okay.
this is where I honestly, hear me. Maybe I could give you, I don't want to give you a case. However, this is where I say let somebody read your application, because oftentimes we'll repeat ourselves. Okay. So even if you're saying it, as long as you're not, if it's, wordy, somebody else can maybe help you condense it and be a little bit more direct in it, so it's not as wordy. Okay. Oftentimes too, when we're wanting to say a lot, we'll use a lot of filler words. So just make sure that you're using maybe the grammar check, because it'll definitely help you reword some of the things and maybe help you remove some of those filler words. And again, having somebody else read over whatever it is. So you don't have to send them your application, but you can just copy whatever it is that you're writing. Say, hey, can you look at this and give me feedback? Or do you think I should add something? Do you think I should take it out? Of course, somebody that knows you, of course. Okay. So no, I think as much detail. Just make sure whatever you're writing, that is just supporting and providing detail to whatever it is that you've already said previously, or mentioned previously, not said. Okay.
Okay.
All right, Mariola.
So I actually have a couple of questions that I wrote. I sent you the email having all of these questions.
Okay, hold on, Precious, you
For
good?
now,
Hold on one second, Mariola. Precious, you good? Because after Mariola, I'm closing out. Seriously, I've held it over. I see you still hanging on. Why you still hanging on with us, Precious? You just like hanging out too?
I just like to listen just in case there's any good information that I can grab.
Awesome. Appreciate that. Okay, Mariola, shoot.
so the thing is, so you recommended us that somebody must go through the application. So do you recommend like the counselor, the advisor, one of the professors, PTK advisor? Do you recommend any of these?
When
Like
you're
who should I
saying
go to?
for the letters of rec, are you
No, just
asking
to review my application, to review with me the
anybody
application.
that knows
Maybe for
you?
somebody.
Yeah, anybody that knows you that can provide some feedback to you. Okay. So if you
Okay.
think a counselor would be, I don't have a recommendation because I don't know who knows you really well that will be able to review your information and provide feedback. But you would want to have somebody that can pretty much read over it and say, hey, Mariola, what about this? You didn't mention this, or even if you said something, but why did you say that? I don't understand what you mean. So somebody that can read it and be able to almost like, I almost want to say critique what it is that you've written to hopefully make it, I don't want to say better because I don't want to say it's bad, but maybe to improve on what you already have, or maybe provide suggestions how that you can even make it better than it already is. Okay. So I'm not saying that what you have is bad. Please don't take it in that manner. However,
No, I'm not taking it personally. I know it's just an advice for us.
yeah.
So the other thing, so when should I expect a reply for my email?
And what was
That
your
have
other
the rest of the
question?
question.
Because
So
what am I
the
replying
question
for you
was,
about?
what is the tribal college or tribal college?
All right, where are you? What state are you in, Mariola? And
New
are you
Jersey.
attending a tribal college?
So the thing is, I'm coming from Egypt 2 years ago, so I have no idea what a tribal college is.
Okay, if you don't know what a tribal college is, then it's not 9 times out of 10, you're probably not. And you don't necessarily have to be native to be attending a tribal college, but oftentimes tribal colleges really look in the study of the indigenous community, and it's more so geared to native origin and those that are connected to the indigenous community. So, but
Okay, so
again, if
and
you
that
were attending a
question,
tribal college, you would know. I don't think you could be attending a tribal college and not know.
no, it's not. So what should I write in that question? Just not applicable, or what should I write?
You shouldn't even have that option. You said what state are you in?
New Jersey.
So did you answer that you live in Georgia or Montana?
No,
You shouldn't
I
even
just
have that
entered.
question. And so,
I
well,
left that question open.
what does it
There's no
say?
answer.
What does it ask? Are you attending? You just want to say no. If it asks, are you attending a tribal college, you want to say no.
Okay. And
Okay.
for yeah, and the question below, the question follows, where can I get the proof of that tribal affiliation? I just leave it empty, right?
That you shouldn't even be getting those questions. What is the question above that? Because I think you've answered that you live in Georgia or Montana for it to open up that. For the question where it says, do you live in Georgia or Montana? How did you answer that question?
No, I just answered no. I'm not living in any.
That doesn't make sense to me, Mariola. Hold on.
Okay. Let me open one more
Yeah,
time that.
look, definitely look in there, because the question, the only way it opens up that question for you, if you said, yes, I live in Montana and or Georgia, and then you ask, yes, the responses are, or response is, yes, I live in Montana or another tribal college state. So did you answer yes there?
Tell him I'm on a scholarship call. Text him to say that.
I can hear you, E. Let's see who this is just popped up.
I'm sorry.
So Mariola, did you answer yes there? And you may
No.
just have to send me a screenshot. I think you're gonna have to send me a screenshot so I can see what you see on your screen. Because right now there's no way for me to be able to troubleshoot that because I can't see it. So send us a screenshot of your actual application in that section where it asks, are you in Montana? Let me see exactly what that question is and how it flows. It
Let me
asks,
try
right?
if I can
How do you
send it now.
self-identify? Do you live in Georgia or Montana or another tribal college state? That question, how did you answer it?
Oh, I just left it.
So you
If
can't.
you live
That's
in
wrong.
Georgia, Montana.
You gotta say no. You need to say no there. You
Oh,
can't
okay.
tell me.
I'm sorry. Do you
Yeah.
live in Georgia or Montana or another state? No, I don't live in either. Are you
And
attending a tribal college?
And no, just say no.
Okay. If you live in Georgia or Montana attending tribal college, will you be age? What should I do? No, which question? Which
You
answer should
said
I choose?
if you live in Georgia, you says if you live in Georgia or Montana and what?
Attending a tribal college, will you be age of 25 or older on or before June 1st, 24?
I think
Even
because you've
though
toggled. I think because you've toggled. Does it say no? Does it give you a response to say no, I don't live in either?
No, the only two options is yes, I would be 25. No, I'm younger than 25.
What's your age, Mariola?
35.
Okay, so say yes. And it
Yes, I
should
would be
ask you,
25.
it should take you, will you be 35 or older? Say yes. And it should
Okay.
pop up now, will you be 35 or older? So it's almost like a repetitive question. Does it pop up 35 and over now?
Yeah, yes, I would
Okay,
be 35.
so answer yes. And you're well on your
Okay.
way. So Mariola, you're good to go. I can't go through every question with you.
Thank
but
you. Thank you very much.
You're certainly good to go.
Thank you.
Okay, you know what, Latrina, I have a suggestion. From the, a questionnaire from the foundation, there is a question. It says, are you identify yourself as a woman or something like that?
Non-binary.
Yeah, it's not a yes and no question. It's either or, so you have to check on that, yeah. It's not very good question to answer as a yes and no. It should either or, yeah.
I think on here, I think you can answer both. That is either, it's not an either or because some identify as woman and non-binary.
Yeah, so yes, should I answer yes or no?
It's not a yes or no, though. You can
Yeah,
select
that's
both.
why I say it's a question. It needs to be improved. It says the questionnaire and the follow is yes or no. So it should not be the yes or no question, you know. Yeah. Yeah. So it's not a very good.
Well, it should, because if you don't identify as woman and or non-binary, then you wouldn't qualify.
Oh, so I should say yes. Yeah, of course I'm a
Yeah.
yes. Yeah.
What else you identify as, Esther?
Of course.
Don't answer that. Don't answer.
Okay, okay, all right. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Well, all right,
I hope I can get hold of you often. You have such a good personality. You must be Christian, right?
that is not for us to discuss on this call, Esther, what my
Okay.
Christian beliefs are.
Okay, whatever. But I like your personality. Yeah, you're such a nice person. Yeah, thank you so much
Esther.
to have you.
I appreciate it. Again,
Yeah, thank
Precious
you for your
Rebecca.
overtime. We hold you
You're
hosted for
welcome.
27 minutes.
Mariola, say, Sade, Jashandra is still even hanging on. Thank you all so much for your attention.
Thank you very much.
Info at Rankin Foundation is your friend from this point moving forward. Again, thanks for you all. Happy applying, and let us know if we can be of assistance as you continue to move forward. February the 16th is your date. Please do not forget to submit that application before February 16th, okay? Have a great evening,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Bye for
You
now.
too.
Bye. Thank